Hey everyone, welcome to the Beyond Boudoir podcast, where I chat with ladies who've been in the studio with me. Hello, I'm Stuart from Classic Boudoir in Nova Scotia, Canada. In the first 18 months of running my studio, I've photographed about 100 women. All of them have left an impression on me. This podcast is all about them and their incredible stories of struggles and pain and self-doubt and, more importantly, perseverance, strength, and overcoming some pretty difficult things. It is not a photography podcast, so we won't be talking about gear or lighting or the industry or cameras or anything like that. These are real chats with real women, so listen in and be inspired, like I am. Hello, Michelle.
Hi.
How are you?
Less nervous than I was about 2 hours ago.
It's more, it's nearly 5.
Okay, less nervous than then.
So before we get going, why don't you just introduce yourself, say hello to everyone, and
Go
do
from
that.
there. Okay. My name's Michelle. I'm nearly 53 years old and I live in Nova Scotia, originally from England, but I've been here now for 24 years. I have 4 children, all with special needs, and they pretty much are my life right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
So is that... is that part of why you're here? Like you said, they are your life at the moment, so...
It is. A lot of my past is another reason for here, but they definitely have changed how I see my own identity. Mm-hmm. I think being a mum does change your identity, but it takes over your identity, so you tend to lose who you are and what you're capable of as a person for yourself, not for somebody else.
Interesting. Yeah. So this was to get back a bit of you or try something completely new?
It was definitely trying something completely new. I've basically had a pretty extraordinary life, I think. I started off as a child in a very dominating family, mm-hmm. The eldest of 6, where I never really had an opportunity to be myself.
Right.
And that definitely moved into my adolescence and my adult life. I tended to bend to what anybody wanted me to be and conform, mm-hmm. And never really stood up for what I wanted to do. Always followed what somebody else said was the better mm-hmm. situation for me. I joined the military as an escape, and I did for a while, but unfortunately with the military lifestyle I got very lost in partying and alcohol, mm-hmm. and again hiding who I was. My first marriage was abusive, more mentally and verbally than physically. Yeah. So again, continued a chain of events of not wanting to be myself, or stand up for myself. Luckily, that ended quite quickly, and I met my current husband, who is completely the opposite. He is continually trying to get me to explain who I am or what I want.
Fabulous.
But unfortunately, I don't know what that is. So having the kids helped me escape a little longer and put everything I had into the kids. Mm-hmm. Having 4 kids with autism definitely made me stronger and more aggressive as a person, because of having to fight for what they needed.
You have to advocate for them all constantly.
Right, yeah. Constantly. And so through advocating for them and my husband, I was able to definitely see that I was stronger than I probably thought I was. And that led me to you. I saw your Facebook comment and did not tell anybody in my friend group or family that that's what I was doing, mainly because I didn't want an input that would either sway me to do it or not to do it.
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure this was something that was completely me. And no other judgment. It was what I wanted. So for the first time, not only have I stood outside my comfort zone, I've done something that was for me.
I think we can safely say you utterly ran away from your comfort zone.
I did run away from my comfort zone. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. But at 50, I advocate for my children, and I tell my children every day to do what you want. Be honest and true to yourself. And as much as I believed that, I don't feel I have done that myself. So I can't set an example when I haven't actually lived to that. Whereas now I feel I have actually done something that is not my comfort zone. I stepped out the box, but I did it for me.
That is so cool, actually.
Yeah. Not sure everyone's going to like it, but
the thing is,
I don't care.
Yeah, nobody else even has to know. I mean, of course, it'd be wonderful if you could show your girlfriends and tell them, and all that kind of stuff. But the only important person is you. Like, if you walk out of here and you got that big beamy smile on your face, I fucking did it. Like,
yeah,
that's the most important thing. Like,
and sitting here now with my clothes on is pretty much what. Yeah, it's like, wow, I just did that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And I've heard from a lot of the ladies that have been here, that feeling lasts for a very long time.
Well, from what I gathered from earlier, until you do your next one.
Until you do the next one. Yes. I was kind of joking with Liv, and I think you heard as well, but I think we found our next nude model. Like,
thank you.
But it's tied to that, what you said when you first walked in, is about the comfort zone thing. Like, 'cause you told me way up front that I'm really nervous, I don't know if I should be doing it, and all those kind of things. And when you came in and you said to Sharon, just you do it, you know best, you put the makeup on that you think is going to work. And then when we were going through your outfits, it's like, I want to be out of my comfort zone, like, but you tell me, but you pick the outfit because I want to be uncomfortable.
Yes.
Which is actually really incredible, because we haven't met, you've never done this before, you're very anxious, you told me the other day, but to put that trust in somebody else's hands for your benefit, like,
yeah. And my youngest son is actually trying to get into university, and he actually wrote a piece about every day is living outside of his comfort zone. And that kind of was I'm going to cry, very inspiring.
Amazing.
It was very inspiring because I don't think we do that enough. No, I totally think you're right, we don't. So if he can live every day outside of his comfort zone, I can do 5 hours outside of mine. So it really put things into perspective on what is your comfort zone and what people do just every day that isn't necessarily comfortable.
Yeah.
And sometimes you do find, surprisingly, that you are very capable of more than you know, which after today, I would definitely say so. Yeah. So, yeah.
So kind of tied around that, you said, when we had our text that you were feeling very anxious about it. What was the anxiety, or what comfort zone are you stepping out of?
So I'm not a very short person.
No.
So I have never been able to hide in a room because of my height.
Mm-hmm.
But I do hide. I had a lot of body issues when I was younger, and whether that was I was too thin, you're not the right shape, someone always says something about something. So
fuck 'em.
It ingrained a lot of body issues. And then I think as well, both men and women, you go through so many changes as you age. I've had a lot of health issues. I've got 4 children. Your body changes, you age, it changes.
Mm-hmm.
And I have never been very comfortable at looking myself in the mirror and turning around and seeing beauty.
Yeah.
And so there was a lot of comfort issues with regards, A, not wearing clothes to hide what I'm uncomfortable with,
mm-hmm.
and B, realizing that you are beautiful no matter what you look like.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that you have to believe that you are beautiful to step out of that comfort zone.
And live it, like you say, like saying the words are not enough, but believing it is the thing.
Yeah. And sometimes maybe it's through seeing it through somebody else's eyes or a picture or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So do you think, actually before I do that one, so why let's say this with the whole photo session, rather than saying go to a beauty studio and getting your hair and makeup done, like why beyond
as in
that?
As in like a glamour beauty?
Just like getting made up for the day, or
because I think that's too comfortable. Just going in and having someone do your hair or your makeup is, to me, it's too comfortable. Even still being on the other side of a camera that makes you uncomfortable, but you're not. I wear makeup every day. I do my hair every day. I am very British when it comes to that. But stripping down to nothing or next to nothing is uncomfortable. You see every flaw by doing that. Mm-hmm. And makeup, as I've learned over 53 years, hides a lot. So your photography takes that option away. It takes the option away of hiding behind a face of makeup. You're not hiding behind everything. You're actually exposing everything that you've been trying to hide for
a
50
long time.
some odd years.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think there's a big difference in what you do, and just having that done. And I don't think that if I'd gone and had that, I wouldn't probably feel the same level of, I can't even explain what it feels like. It's not relief, it's just contentment that I actually did it and saw myself.
Wow.
So, yeah. And I don't think you get that from the other.
No. Is that word exposing and being vulnerable is actually, I think it's a really good way of explaining it, because yes, we did some nudes, right, and they are going to be beautiful, but it takes a lot of emotional energy to do that as well. So it's not it's not only the physical exposing, it's that emotional vulnerability that you have to have as well. And I think you just did so amazing today.
I'm sure I'm going to be exhausted for the rest of the day.
Well, yeah, all those poses, they're not easy, but you just did so amazing today, especially for me, as I know that you were anxious, and because you told me, which is That's actually really brave just to say that in the first place. Like, I'm feeling really anxious about this and excited, by the way. So it wasn't,
I was excited. But again, I was excited for the experience, anxious about
the process of...
Yes, and the fact that, yes, I don't know you, you're going to see the raw me.
Yeah.
And there's not many people, I think, as women in general, that you actually show that to. You don't show that vulnerability to many people in your life. And I think you should more, but I don't think we do.
No.
And
I think you
especially
have to earn
as you age, you don't. It's very easy when you're 20 to be very confident and put yourself out somewhere, but not necessarily as you get older.
No, because like you say, we do change a lot. Like, how I look now is not how I looked at I was military as well, by the way.
Yes.
10 years military. If I think back to my early 20s military suntanned ripped body, I loved me now more than I guess I did then, actually.
Yeah.
But that's taken work to get to. But you do have that confidence of youth, don't you?
You do, for sure. But, and invulnerability, or when you're younger, that you just, yeah,
bulletproof, I say. Like, when I was that age, I was bulletproof.
Yeah.
But then, things happen and you don't feel quite so bulletproof anymore.
No, you don't. And it's a shame that that's something you lose, or you lose sight of. I don't think, some people don't lose it, you just lose sight of it, of what you're actually capable of.
Yeah, now thinking about it, I think what we gain getting older, hold on, how do I say this? That confidence we have at 20 is not really grounded in the real world. Like, it's kind of a bravado type confidence, but as we lose the requirement to be 20, this is really going to sound really weird, as we lose that requirement to be young and bulletproof, I think it allows us to become vulnerable to, I think, when you are more aware of that mortality, right? Like, at 20, you're, like you say, you're bulletproof, but now I'm nearly 53 as well. I'm not bulletproof.
No.
But I now appreciate things so much more because I don't have endless time in front of me. At 18, like, that's just so far in the future, like, it's incomprehensible. But now, being 50, I hate saying the word. I'm going to say 52 because 53 sounds really old. 52.
And I guess you do start looking at, in general, what haven't you done with your life? Where are those gaps that you sit there and think, no regrets? That's what everyone says, when it comes to your last few days, you want to be able to say, I did everything, or I have no regrets.
Yeah.
And take a good look at that and say, so what is it that I want to make sure I have the opportunity of doing while I can move, while I can do those things.
Yeah.
And I think some of my anxiety is around, not the fact, I agree, you're bulletproof and there was a lot of bravado, but it's the fact that you don't do things necessarily that are true to yourself and your values, or when you have the opportunity to then give your life's wisdom to somebody else, that you have lived that. And it's very easy to hide. So I just bared all, and I did not hide. No, you didn't actually.
I know I just said it, but you did so amazing in here today. Going with the suggestions, saying yes. But I think
if I didn't, I wouldn't have done it. If I'd come here, when you said to me when I came in and you said, so what are your outfits, or what are you, how do you want to look or what do you want to do? If I had stuck to inside my head, it would have been safe. And I would have been, let's just keep that safe. Yeah,
let's stay covered. I mean, not necessarily just physically, but...
Right.
Yeah.
So to take that away from me trying to make a decision, especially when I don't know, and then, know that if I'm not that comfortable, I will stop.
Good.
But it's like, you put me out there, you tell me what it is I want or you want to see, and I'll tell you whether I'm
comfortable to do it. Yeah, which is great, because when, again, we're kind of looping back to that, but when you said I want to be made uncomfortable, so that's kind of our cue, like let's push her, let's see where she will go, and allow us to go, because I know what comes out of that camera is just going to be so gorgeous. It is, I mean, you've seen some. I know you didn't have the glasses on, so you've got the general picture, but they're going to come out, and I think we're going to get you.
Yes, which is what I hope. I hope to be able to look at them and see some of what I get a glimpse of when I'm feeling anxious, or I'm feeling like I'm 50 something and I haven't lived, or I haven't done, or I've listened to too many people. So that's what I'm hoping.
And the pictures, when you get them, they will drop you right back into this room. So whatever you're feeling now, and what you'll be feeling for a very long time, like this glow, I'll loop it back to a story from one of the very first ladies I photographed. I still get the odd message from her, and he says, "Felt frumpy, looked at my pictures, felt beautiful, thank you." And so that's what I want that for everyone. Like, I want them to be able to celebrate. You can sit there in the glow, like whenever you want to. It's like, oh yeah, it's totally that was so cool. And then, but everyone does have down days and bad days, and I'm feeling fat days, and those kind of things.
But I don't think you think in your head. I don't think you think that everybody else does. I think you very much get into your head and think you're the only person that feels this way, because to you someone always looks more beautiful or more put together,
handsome or rugged, or
more put together, more everything, that you think it's only me who's not coping with whatever is going on.
And now you have evidence.
Now I have evidence.
So you can pull it up. You pull up those pictures in 2 years' time, 5 years' time, 10 years' time, and you can look at them on your phone or album or however you have them and go,
I wasn't broke at 53.
No. Look what I did. And the other one, especially for people with challenges at looking at themselves, like, you can look at that and go, geez, I look good. Like, so you're going to get the feelings as well, like, drop back into this whole session. But then you're also going to go, what am I worrying about? Like, why am I... That person in that picture is beautiful. And
I'm not sure it'll stop the worrying, but I would like to think that it will give me... Whoever that girl was or the lady was that you photographed, she's right. I'm hoping that when you get to that point where it's like, I'm frumpy, I'm old, I'm broken, I'm not attractive or whatever, tired, you can look at the pictures and go, I may be all those things, but I am also this. But I am also this.
Yes.
And they were done on a day that I felt frumpy and tired and broken, and I can still achieve that on those days. And I think that's what I will take out of it.
Wonderful.
Even if I don't show anybody else, it will be that I have that.
So what was it like in the studio for you? Like, we came in and obviously everybody's nervous when they walk in. Nerve-wracking, yes, absolutely.
It was, you were all really welcoming. You all basically tried to put me as much as ease and comfortable, and I know you could tell by my hands how comfortable I wasn't.
The ringing fingers.
Yes, exactly. But I am really bad with names. The lady doing my makeup, Sharon, was phenomenal. She listened and understood to my issues of what I have going on, and basically, I gave her the free rein to do what she wanted, but she talked me through it all the way. And I really liked that, because it put me at ease to actually be like, you know what you're doing, you know what's going to look right under the lights and the camera, just do it. And even some of that was out of my comfort zone.
The colours and
right. Definitely not a bright lipstick person, but again, not giving her the free rein would have meant I wouldn't have got the whole package. And Olivia with the hair, God bless her, she did an amazing job. And then even staying and putting you to ease with everything. And she told me about her experience here, so that really helped bring everything down. And as for you, you're English. How can we not? So I don't, yes, I felt uncomfortable, but I didn't feel totally uncomfortable and out of place. You made me feel as relaxed as I could possibly be. Fabulous. Being out of my comfort zone. And I did have to laugh at Olivia going, you're really getting into it now. You've stopped wringing your hands.
Only on the outside.
But so no. And it's nice. It's a small space, so you don't sort of, it's cozy, it's welcoming. You don't sort of feel like, oh my God, this is a really big, next one's going to be outside though. Pull it right out of your comfort zone.
Okay, I like that.
But it sort of gives you that comforting feeling being just the way it is.
Welcome.
So, welcoming,
Good. You've made my day.
No, it was...
For lots of reasons.
It was, amazing. But next time's outside.
All right, definitely we'll do
another
that.
Comfort zone.
I know a place. I've got some spots for that.
Okay. But so the whole experience, I would highly recommend it. Highly.
Wonderful.
So
that's so cool.
And maybe don't be too prepared. I think I worried a lot about being prepared, and maybe just going with the flow is,
Did you, what kind of prepared? That's kind of where I was going with that.
So when we spoke initially, you said, go on Pinterest and have a look at different things and see what, and because I actually do not like being photographed, there is very few photographs of me in my lifetime. That was very difficult for me to do. So to actually try and look at pictures and get an idea of where or how I wanted to be photographed made me more anxious. And again, the whole body dysmorphia part with regards, so which underwear looks, is it too much, isn't it enough, what's the colour? At the end of the day, it was very much, what, Mitch, just go with what makes you comfortable, and then turn around and say to you, now you make it uncomfortable. And not try to overthink it. It was good letting you be the uncomfortable one and not me being the one saying, okay, I saw this pose, I'd like to do this, or I'd like to go this way. To try and do that, I think would have been very awkward. It was a lot easier just saying, I'm willing to be 100% out of my comfort zone, give it to me. You're in charge, rather than I will tell you where that is.
Got it. Oh, interesting.
Because, yeah, you can always say no.
Yeah.
If it's too far,
Yep.
you can say no.
Yeah.
But I didn't know what too far was until I was here today, which is obviously way out the park.
But we still didn't get a no. Like there was
No, but I think had you turned around and said to me when we had the chat, if you'd said, so we're going to do A, B and C, I would have straight away said to you, no, we're not. So then I would have come in here today and my shoot probably would have looked very different.
Right.
So by not, in a very English way, hobbling myself before I came in meant that it left a lot for interpretation. On
the day.
Right.
Okay.
So I took that away and put that back on you.
Yeah, cool.
So
that's an interesting what's the word, juxtaposition. So you wanted to be very prepared, but at the same time you didn't want to know what was going to happen, just be told what to do.
Yeah.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah.
So,
and believe me, a lot of thought went into outfits, but I'm a perfectionist, so I can't not. But at the same time, I do think that I still was overthinking in my own brain.
So second shoot, let's pretend, right, that we're now going to do the outdoor one. It's all booked, the date.
Yeah.
What are you going to do different? Okay, let's wind that back. We are doing a shoot outdoors when it's warm, so you don't have to freeze your bits off.
Good. Though I did like the idea of snow, and then we had no snow.
I know. So, do you think you're going to approach it different? So do you think you'll be able to go through the Pinterest with different eyes now and say, I can really see myself like that. This I find beautiful, and I would like to see myself like that.
You ask me that question now, yes. I would say no. But I haven't really seen the photographs. So maybe when I have seen the photographs that then push you in the direction of, okay, so when I go onto Pinterest, I've done that, that's just the next step, or that's slightly, I could do that. Maybe then I would be able to. Looking or thinking about it now still makes my stomach
flip,
churn to think that I've got to go in and pick something.
Got it.
So maybe when I've seen the photos I would, but I also think some of today came more easily because I didn't know, and it kind of evolved from one step to another step, rather than me giving you a list of, so I'm going these ones, and then it's not so natural or evolving. Whereas I felt that today evolved, like you started somewhere and it evolved into something else. Whether that was from clothes to nude or outfit to a different look, it evolved in its own way.
That's because I can't plan as well.
But you know what, I think that was good. I think that was good, because I do think if you plan too much, then it becomes very rigid, and maybe
it's like
the photographs
photo factory.
Which is a bit how I see the one that you said, just go and get your glamour makeup, why wouldn't you do that? They kind of like strike me as these are your 4 poses, this is your face full of makeup that may not look or may look like you, and then it's just everything's always the same.
Actually, you just made me realise, so one of the I don't do minis. A lot of photographers do minis, and as soon as you said that, it's like, now I know why. Like, I'm very resistant to doing minis, and I think it's that. It feels like a factory. Like you get, I don't know, let's say you book 6 people in a day, they get half an hour. Everyone's got to be the same. It's got to be. It's like click, 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 next, click, 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 next.
And my photos aren't going in a magazine or going out in public But if you were, I'm pretty sure that the girl you saw last week wouldn't want to see the girl you saw this week in the same outfit or the same pose or the same. You want to feel that it's individual to your personality.
Yes.
And I definitely think that that was what you got out today, for sure. That it's like, yeah, that was what I wanted or what I was comfortable, even if it was your
suggestions.
Yes.
And they are suggestions. Like, we're not ordering you around.
No. But I do think that. So rather than, you're right, one of those glam shots would be this pose, this pose, this pose, and the next 5 girls have the same experience.
Same. Yeah.
And I'm sure we all take something different from the experience.
Yeah.
So
positive.
Yeah. Very positive.
Wonderful. That makes me smile. That makes me smile a lot, actually. I really like it.
Well, I'm smiling. I wasn't smiling when I came in.
It was more of a grimace.
It was.
Oh.
It's like, oh, I'm here.
Oh, and I could see your, as Olivia was just finishing up your hair, your demeanour changed again, because it's like, oh, it's go time. It's like, damn it, I've got to go and get naked in a minute.
I'm sat here and now, oh God, now I do have to take my clothes off.
It's real.
Yeah, no. But I definitely think that if you have, and most of us do, but if you have anything that you are not confident about yourself, this is definitely a way of making you appreciate what you do have and what the positive aspects of, whether that's your body or your health. I definitely think that it gives you something to...
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Me too.
Well, if not, you shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah, I agree. And that kind of, again, looping a little bit back to the shot factory. I don't want to do that. Every shoot we do is totally different.
Yeah.
We have some poses that we use quite often, like that one, the floor one there, like, because I think it's beautiful.
But it's a good pose.
Yeah, I think it's beautiful. But the flow is always different. We didn't even use this half of the studio today, and usually we start over here.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it just felt like it needed to be over there, and then over there, and this, that, and the other. But yeah, every shoot is completely different, which mixes it up for me. But I also think you're right. It makes it more personal to you, because it's like we're not pulling out a sheet and going, okay, we're on to section 4, pose number 10, off you go.
Yeah.
No.
Well, and that was the other thing when you said to look at Pinterest. And I'm saying I don't look at myself. So you have some beautiful women on your walls that you've obviously photographed. You always compare yourself to another portrait.
Yeah.
Whether that's a flaw that you see in yourself, that, oh, if I did that, I would see this, this, and this, and I wouldn't look like that.
Yeah.
And so I think that's where I struggled with Pinterest is I couldn't look like that. I couldn't look like that. That I wouldn't do that. I proved that wrong today.
Yeah, you did do all of that.
It is very difficult to put you in that person, or to realise that all these women on your wall are just average individuals and extremely beautiful women, but that they are the same as you. They will have the same mindset as you on some level.
They do.
But yeah, it's...
I've photographed ladies, the youngest is 19, the oldest is 78.
Now, see, I would love to be doing it at 78. That would be a big...
She made me blush, I tell you.
Hard to do for an Englishman.
Yeah, we don't do emotions. Everyone from an XS, so an extra small, to 4X, and everything in between, all the shapes that you can imagine, tall ladies, short ladies, I kind of suspected this coming into it, and all of them, including you, have the body issues.
Yes.
I think very few, even the ones who breeze in confident, they've still got some issues looking and feeling that. And so some of this is really personal for me because I've watched my wife fight that since we got together. We joke that we would have, we call them clothes tantrums.
Mm-hmm.
So anytime we were going out, it would take 3 hours and a lot of tears to find the least bad outfit to wear.
Yeah.
And to watch her fight that, or well, live with it for a long time and then fight it and now be completely the other side.
Yeah.
Then for me to be a part of giving that back to someone is huge for me.
It is huge, but you already gave it back for your wife to get to the other side. So on some level you were already giving it back, probably not realising you were.
Maybe, yeah.
But sometimes partners are the worst, sometimes partners are the biggest supporter.
Yeah.
There's sometimes I find friends, especially if you're all different shapes and sizes, have a habit of, well, what have you got to complain about? What would you not like about? I only wish that. And it's like, you know what, that's great, but
yeah,
you're not living what I'm living.
Correct.
So
comparison is the thief of joy.
It is indeed.
Yeah.
It is indeed.
It is all, you're right, it's so easy to look at somebody else and go, they're thinner, they got blonder hair, they got more money, they've, their kids aren't special needs, they're this, that and the other, and just look at them and go, oh, I wish what you had.
Yeah.
Wish I had what you had. But here's the funny thing is they're doing the same to you. Like they're looking at you going, I wish I had what she had. And everyone's doing it.
No, it is very true. It is very true. And apart from my kids, actually, I have noticed living 25 years around special needs kids, they really don't. They live in what they have.
Huh.
And my kids in particular are very good at, they are content with just the way they are.
Fabulous.
And in some respects I wish I could be a lot more like that, a lot more confident in, especially with some of the difficulties they have. You'd think that would make it harder, but it actually, they seem to know themselves a lot better and understand themselves a lot better than maybe your average person.
Do you think that's partly because you've helped them do that? So can you take some of that?
Can I take them?
No, I don't mean take, like, but
take the credit.
Some.
Oh,
in a good way, not in a like, I did that. But, I really did. I advocate for them, and they're.
And I probably have gone above and beyond to try and not give them the issues that I've had, so that they learn to grow without those issues and be confident.
Wonderful.
But they will not be seeing the photos.
No.
Definitely not. No.
Okay.
No. No. They're also very judgy.
Oh,
because
really?
they're honest. They're honest, right? So they're, So no.
No. Fair enough. Are they boys or girls?
3 boys and 1 girl.
Okay.
Yeah.
The only reason I asked is I think from everything that I've heard, mothers are more likely to share with daughters than boys. I don't know why, but...
If my daughter was more like me, I might. But she is a very courageous, very self-aware young lady. And very strong-willed and strong-minded.
Right.
So I'm sure she'd have something to say about me taking my clothes off to a complete stranger, but she is very comfortable in how she looks and what she does or doesn't have. And So I don't think, would completely understand my need to do it to prove something to myself, because she doesn't have that same.
See. Right.
Yeah. Yeah, and she's also very private, but she doesn't have that same. Thankfully. So, I don't know.
Fabulous.
Now you've got me thinking about outside. All in the talking to you now in the back of my head, all that's going is, outside.
Forest, waterfall, water.
Yeah, bad.
Yeah. No, great. That's definitely going to happen. Yeah.
And then the other thing that goes straight into your head when you're saying that is, outside, definitely a tan.
Definitely need a tan. Yeah, I'm not that good on Photoshop.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, okay, gym in a tan. No.
Yeah. Just the tan.
Defeats the purpose.
Maybe a tan, though.
Yeah. But no, thank you very much. It was, absolutely extraordinary.
Thank you.
It really was.
I want to say thank you too for being brave and showing up. I don't mean just physically being here, I just mean showing up.
Being present in the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was the other thing I really did want to make sure that after contacting you and saying I wanted to do it, is that whatever came out of today, I wanted to make sure I was present and it wasn't something that just blew by and I didn't put my whole self into.
You so did.
So
I have a thing, I'd rather you go, I'm glad I did that, rather than I wish I'd asked if I could do that.
Right.
So,
and definitely if there was anybody that is listening to this podcast, that is very true. I would definitely say let you steer, and if you are uncomfortable, say no. But you'd never know how far you are willing to go if you don't in the first place. So.
Yeah, we get no's and we like them because it tells us where the boundaries are.
Yeah.
With this is fabulous. I like the confidence of a no.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Wonderful. That's it.
Thank you.
We're all done.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.